Okay, welcome to Perpetuum mobile. Hello humans, hello gentlemen. I want to explain in this third video about alternative physics for the development of the Perpetuum mobile. Further, how to calculate the velocity proportional to the distance between objects. And therefore I draw once again the Sun and the Earth. And how I have explained this distance R is under the Sun a zero singularity and a one singularity. As properties of the dark energy. These are absolutely flat surfaces, and this flatness is energy. The energy A equals energy, surface equals energy, and this can be made as because these both SI units are different by ghost parameters. Ghost parameters. This is a Greek symbol, but I don't know the word for it. But I've seen it. It looks a little bit like this. And a ghost parameter gauges the SI units. For example, here we need square meter by energy as ghost parameter, and this means that now, because we divide here by energy, it stays left square surface here. This is gauged, and this why these both parameters can be the same, energy and surface, and it must be the same because energy equals surface as a real property of the physical world. And then this parameter, the ghost parameter, can be led away, and it is non-existing. This probability, this question is non-existing property. But we have distinguished between ich schon wieder von vorne anfangen, nur weil ich gestottert habe. Ich will nicht. Sorry, es kommt schon mal vor, dass ich etwas nicht weiß. Und das ist tatsächlich immer der Fall. Richtig, jeden Tag. So. The thing is that this parameter does not exist. This is why I can let them both away. But they are both. But they must then be one. This is why the ghost parameter alone is already a parameter that is non-existing. Because we equalize energy and energy and surface, and it has the value 1. But it has always the value 1. But it's not correct. It can have the value 1 and another value, depending on if we consider free energy, the dark energy or not. But here in this formula, out of this perspective of the classical mechanics, for the correct one singularity, let's say gigaspace is better because it includes all the singularities. It is 1. No, that's not correct. I should say 0, 0 singularity, because we are now at the perspective of 0, 0 singularity and of 0, 1 singularity. Because we are not really in the experimental physics field, we are a little bit lower in the stupid field. Okay, so Gauss parameters are 1 and are non-existent. So they are non-existing in the field where we considered it in the classical mechanics for quantum mechanics. So this is the right explanation. The classical mechanics for quantum, the classical mechanics for quantum mechanics. Then we say it is non-existing. But for the dark energy, we do not know it is really non-existing, because Gauss parameters are bright and quasi parameters, or dark and virtual. They are existing, means that the value that comes out here is existing, and they are zero at once. For example, a free falling apple has a mass m and a mass 0. And dark virtual parameters which are non-existing and 1. For example, the time during the space elongation is a non-existing parameter. It is a gamma factor, and it's the inverse of the gamma factor. Is a virtual parameter. It must be 1, and it must be at 1 non-existent. Because we may not measure it, and it does not exist in this moment. Because the object moves on an asymptotical free distance. Okay, what I want to explain, what I have explained is now that the gravitational field of the Sun is a time pressure layer, a chessboard with a number of squares which is as high as 1 second and 1 second, prime second, 1 prime meter, as high as the energy, and it can be calculated as gm sun squared by r. And then we have here this surface in the energy, in the dark energy. And this we get as we to calculate the restness of it, as we divide the gravitational energy by c squared, then we get the rest energy, the rest mass. Sorry, and then we can calculate the kinetic energy for each location from here to here. Although there is nothing in the space phenomenological, but here are these surfaces everywhere natural. These surfaces mean if we have here under the Sun, if here comes a light beam from here, let's say, then it gets the tangenta here on the circle. And by this, if you have ever drawn a tangenta on a circle, you will see that there is optical curve in this direction, and this is gravitational lensing. Gravity is caused by the optical curvature by geometry. Gravity is caused by asymptotical free motion, and this is geometry of the space. Of the Higgs field, the Goldstone fields, which are empty spaces. So here have the kinetic energy. The kinetic energy is the kinetic energy with the restness is m0 squared v squared. And we will see this is the velocity that is constant, proportional to the distance. If we have calculated the kinetic energy for each location. Here the distance r for the distance between Sun and Earth, it will be the kinetic energy of the Earth as material substance. Okay. Then the zero singularity gets real substance because the Earth, while the Sun system was developed, got this certain distance because of the free energy gradient here on this line here. And the entropy inside the space. Okay, then we get V is 2 times E kin by m0. So we will see that m0 gets as lower as the gravitational energy, and as larger gets the radius from here to here, as lower gets the mass here. Okay. Then E kin, we want to calculate E kin. E kin is calculated with the formula of everything, like this. And we set for lambda, lambda is hg by EP, for EP equals E, because we have in the energy tables also values smaller than 1, and they are wave energy always. Each energy smaller than 1 is wave energy, but is at once particle. And so we have to, for the gigaspace it is wave energy, but it's at one particle. And so we have to set these both equal. And everything in the quantum mechanical, microscopic quantum information space, which is a Euclidean space out of our perspective, is classical chaos. And this is why everything is motion. Also the wave energy is motion E. Classical chaos. Sounds good. So, and then we have E squared by hc, and say for the singularity inside the black hole, this is the 1 meter square. Then first come the parallel quantum information spaces and the parallel cosmos, and then back to our cosmos. What I want to say? It's 1 joule here. It's also general. Wait, sorry. Out of their perspective, the perspective of the quantum information space, but out of our perspective, it is here 1 meter. It is 1 joule, and 1 meter is here 1 square meter here in the background. You see on the wall. Then we have 1 by hc, and this is Fu, the universal force. And the universal force is then, and we will see later that we can calculate with the universal force in the next video the velocity, let's say like this, Fu equals E kin by R. The time runs already away. So, bye. We see us in the next lesson. Thank you for listening to me. Bye.